get right to it. Oh, come on. We can do better than this, can't we? I knew it. Let's crank up the levels. There you go. What's going on? Welcome, chat. Let's get to it. Eventful, war-filled afternoon, right? Not that big of a deal. We're still going to talk about everything we've been discussing the last few weeks. Scenario really hasn't changed much. We just got some news stories to fill in. Everyone, get over to harmonictrader.com. Start out as a free member, basic member, okay, especially brand new. All of the educational material to get started, simply register now, okay, basic member, and then everything is on the basic members page. That's how to get started. And then the free trial, we recommend that you go with TradingView right there. Sign up over at Divergent Software. Okay, all that information is there. And then the free 2 week trial, just to let everybody know. Again, 2 weeks. Get started there. Get with the software. What we're going to do today is all related to the software signals. Let's see if we get a couple of short-term trades like last session. Send your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst and give it a look. What's going on, chat? Settle on in, guys. We got quite a number of things to get to, and I will update the situation, Bitcoin, QQQ, all the fun stuff, right? Nasdaq was down quite a bit overnight, even this morning, trying to recover. And it's, I love the volatility. I don't really care. We know the larger direction. We know we've been talking about the larger breakdown. 6 months, guys, in a consolidation range, trying to break it. So that's where we are. I'm on my 5 second chart, guys. I got to tell you, I'm totally hooked. I'm totally hooked on the 5 second chart. I think it's the only way to reduce big drawdown, especially days like today. Even in this range, like right now, where we are, 701, 702 hop, 698, new bat pattern. 5 second ranges, these patterns have been just absolutely fire. And, my little prop firm project's going well. And I think with the patterns and what you guys need to do with these prop firms, I've got it dialed in. Okay, we're looking at 30 second. I'm looking at 5 minute, but patterns all over the place on this 5 second time frame with confirmation. Tomorrow, we're going to do that session, another strategy session, and it's mostly for gold members and cool people. Okay, so if you're a cool person and you want to have the effort of just simply, you don't have to subscribe. I'm going to kind of leave it open, going to do a little work. Connect with me over on the Discord. Gold members, you guys were sent the updates in the gold thread. I'll send out another update. All that information is the gold thread. Everyone else that's not a member, but you want to come for free, you got to Discord me. Okay, on the send me a message on Discord. We'll set you up, but just keep it cool. We're gonna do a exact type 1, type 2 return, and then type 2 reversal strategies. We'll get into that. Like, this back-to-back stuff, guys. Where is the pattern and where is the trade? That's the, really the gist of everything that we do with harmonic patterns. We know they're super accurate, but, they get us the zones. Where's the trade? It's at the confirmation like that. Arrow, diamond, dot. We're going to talk a lot about that. I think it's going to be good for new people. Just jump in. There's a lot going on, no doubt. But guys, once you're exposed to framework, confirmation, pattern differentiation, your eyes open up a whole new world. Okay, and that's what we'll do tomorrow. We've done a few of these, and they've been really helpful for people. And so that's kind of where I'm taking it all. Great to see everybody. What's going on? Settle in, chat. Great to see you. Grace, Alec, Victoria, David. As always, my man, what's going on? Claire, how you doing, Claire? Claire, did you ever settle that thing out? Let me know. Let me know. Mr. Macho, and Max, everyone else, Wayne, folks, what's going on? We will look at what you guys want to look at. Okay, let's do the quick 3 minute rundown, recap, if you will. Nasdaq's down, well, amazing. We were just 69, 60, 24, 700, 698. We're now down 60. We're down 388. It was a lot worse. I mean, we were down over 600 overnight, and then even this morning's retest. What we're looking at, guys, we have to kick it to the weekly, and you know that I've been feeling the 2025 vibes. Doesn't it feel like 2025 all over again? And if we're looking at charts and we're comparing, I've said this for a while, we're kind of like here almost to the week. A week ago, there was last March, breaking down 6 month structure here. Okay, here we are. Where if we break down under 24K, I put that on X earlier. Any close under 24K, that will seal the deal. But serious 2025 vibes going on here. And then what did that do for us? It only created like one of the greatest monster opportunities in about, I don't know, 5 years to capture a big shakeout move and an explosion. And why not? Let's get ready for that. What I was saying on Twitter is that it just, to me, if we can get this breakdown, and I'll get to it in a second of why, but let's just do a little 1618 throwdown move, right? That's 22.3, 22K-ish, something like that. And those are minimum assumptions. The big news is that look at the progress on Harmonic Strength Index, our proprietary harmonic signal with the dots and the diamonds. I mean, we're seeing stars. Seriously, it's just been fire. But that 50 level breakdown, really similar. And I think we're into the final phase. This is something I think people also lose sight of. It happens in RSI, and there's amplified RSI in the same spot a year ago. Now we're breaking down. I'll get to the amp RSI read in a second. But, here you are hitting oversold, or not even, like a week or two before it, and more than half of the move, okay, like 2/3 of 2 times this initial move that took it down from 50 into the overbought and then the pivot out happened from basically an HSI breakdown reading under 30, under 30. And that's where we are now. I would say it's even more of a broken down condition because you have this breakdown point on HSI. That's never a good look if you're wanting this thing to turn around. If anything, that's acceleration behavior. And then check it out. Amplified RSI. And this could go for standard RSI. And a lot of people trying to cite RSI, especially on Bitcoin, is like, hey, it's oversold, so it's going to immediately go. No, it doesn't work like that. You have to have the full turnaround. Amplified RSI for NASDAQ has broken down one. Oh, let's go here. It's broken down this midpoint here. That's a big deal. And now today, triggering follow through, that breakdown. That's why we should see this go into like a serial breakdown flush out move over the next 2 or 3 weeks, reminiscent of a year ago. It's, you're almost there. All you need to do is close. I'll show you. Check it out. Here's a year ago. I mean, it's freaky. Maybe this was their plan all along. Okay, you're here. You go back. Maybe it's not as much, but that was like November all the way to February. In this case, we're like August, September. But that's the relative breakdown point. Okay, you pierced it, and then the following week, which was the first week of March 2025, you're doing the same deal. What kind of magnitude acceleration move are we going to do? Because from that breakdown point all the way to the low. That was a super fast. I mean, super fast shakeout. Okay. A 15% move from the break. And I got to say this. I hope that happens because longer term, guys, I'm not afraid of this market. If anything, this is if we do this move, it's going to actually reinforce the scenario that I've been talking about is that we are similar to 1995, 1996. And we're going to go through a series of aggressive moves where, we have these shakeout moves. We do an approximated like 1618, which is that's basically what that is. And then minimum 382 style, that's what you should anticipate. 22.5, 22.4 ish, or even nastier, like it could be a 618. I don't think this is in the same. I think we're further along on the internals. But I'll look for that 382. Again, under 24K. We almost really sliced it today. What's going on? Yeah, and for the QQQ, that we should not, remember I was saying like a week or two, we need to discuss levels so that when we start the initiation of the acceleration, we're not surprised and we're actually prepared. QQQ was a 1618 to a 382, so that was that was like 630, 628. 38 was the 1618. We topped at 637 and 382, 550, 545 ish. We still need to digest that 1618 from last year. Indicators are just not there yet. Indicators of anything with today's rollover, you're in that real dangerous pocket. You flush it and you finally go oversold. There's actually more price acceleration in these kind of situations that can happen here than even from the 50 breakdown. So, not surprised. I'm not looking for longs yet. And I am, again, of the opinion that we're going to get another, whatever it will be, we're going to get an oversold minimum arrow, diamond, something like that. So we're patient. We are patient here. S&P 500, the 7K test. Actually, this chart doesn't look as bad as last year. And we're really haven't fallen off after almost hitting that 700, 698 level. That doesn't look terrible. I'm not too concerned. What I'm hoping for on S&P and as the leader, that maybe we generate an oversold at a higher level, but it's on the edge of that acceleration. Like this could bust to the downside because we've got obvious 50 level rollover continuation. All right, and then the bigger one is that look, amplified RSI. That's usually the last thing that I look for. Going from that kind of a breakdown, you're at the 50 point, break it. Can you from there do the acceleration to oversold? And I would say it's a lot like where we were. Again, you go almost exactly to the week a year ago. We broke that 50 level. So where could SPY potentially go? What's harmonic ratio number one? It's a 382. I mean, typically we use 382 because that's a minimum harmonic reaction. Sometimes I throw up to 236, but let's just keep it legit. That's like 615, 620. And then again, I'm gonna just say this. I'm still super bullish on the longer term trend. It is just that we are going to get provided these shakeouts going forward where 10% corrections are not going to be crazy and they're going to probably be similar to last year. Quick down, create some oversold trigger, and then do another 1618. All right, and I'll circle back. Maybe Thursday. I'll spend more time on doing like a catch up on what 1995, 96 into 2000 look like. I still say that we are of a similar trajectory of following that kind of model, and it was as aggressive as that .com era was. You had many opportunities because we were doing this 382, 1618, or even more, and then down and 1618 again. I mean, that's just these are market mechanics. This is still aggressive uptrend, and I'm looking for opportunities. We're closer to some opportunities now than a week ago, that's for sure. It's just when this flush gets triggered, all right, where do we target? Easiest way, guys, natural state of any oversold price level condition is a simple 1618. Can you measure a 1618 like a throwdown move? That's like 620. Not a biggie. Great to see everybody. What's going on? Let me know how levels are. Any buffering, any issues. I'd appreciate it. What's up, Doc? Great to see you guys. Greg. Yeah, you know what? Well, Greg's saying a 10% correction does make you want to puke, but then stay away from Bitcoin. I'll get to Bitcoin in 1 second. I'll update that in a second. But yeah, we are, um, you know, definitely at a great spot here. Okay, we've been in front of this. We have talked about why this digestion phase has been necessary, where you basically hit 1618s within the uptrend. And now we want that washout, guys. We want that swoop, shakeout, trigger, and go because it's going to be another shakeout within the long-term uptrend. Now, monthly, I think this is pretty interesting. We have this crazy deep crab pattern on the SPY, and it's still valid. I'll tell you from a harmonic pattern collection software perspective, which is utilizing auto optimated harmonic patterns with the signals. If we get this flush, and I think it's interesting, just again, I want to throw out levels so that you guys, hey, I heard it there first from Scott, would be this kind of a shakeout move, weekly or monthly, but maybe get back down to the top end of the hop level. Because if this whole pattern has failed, a retest of the hop and then some kind of oversold arrow here would then be the resumption of what you're looking at, which is, super cycle uptrend. It's kind of tough. You look at charts every day and you get caught up, especially after last year. Amazing move. You think it's going straight up forever, and then what? We go 6 months sideways. Telling you, pause. We just triggered HSI oversold last month. Still early, but that's where we are. Read the chart, read the signals. The bigger one here is okay, we're into the new month. We're not even at the 50 level yet, and I think that's going to be another situation like last year. We were there last year. February, it hit the 50. Maybe March, we sliced through 50 level. So many similarities. So many. Those are the two biggies. Yes, I'll get to gold. I'll get to silver. Let's do the quick update on Bitcoin. All right. Man, people love their Bitcoin. They're willing to fight over any comment. So I posted some things over the weekend, and it's all good. People have a different opinion. People don't like the fact that I like to post charts and patterns that have repeated every cycle, and just want to deny what's in front of them. I really thought we were going to kiss 59K last month, or at the end of last month, over the weekend. Last week I thought, let's get down within this framework, which was a type 1, type 2. Again, I'm going to just be straight up, okay? Because I'll bring up the post that I said in a minute, but this was a typical type 1 to target 2. And then I was thinking we'd get the flush to the hop at like 59,650, and that would be where we get the counter trend rally. What happened? A little thing called war with Iran. And okay, didn't come in. That did not set up. But I'm still going to use that. I'm going to still use the 4 hour chart. I mean, we saw a lot of things go down over the weekend, obviously. This was the other thing I posted. Let's just bring this over here. Still looking within that 4 hour trend. Even the 2 hour chart, we had a bat. So close both times. But I said over the weekend, I've been saying for the last few weeks, any bullish situation that I'm looking for, all right, is simply a target. I'm not looking long. Here it is. Okay, yeah, great. Here was a couple of the other charts. So within that context, there you go. We were talking about that, and then here was the bigger chart. I'll come back to that in a second. I'll show you the one too. That's pure framework, guys. Okay, so when we're looking at framework and trying to anticipate one, two, okay, this is what back on the 25th, this is what I was looking for. Type 1 back down for 2, and most of that was right. We were just shy. 62,779, and the low was 63,046. 06. 250 points. I wasn't looking long, but I was just more looking for counter trend bounce. And we're still actually, believe it or not, in a type 1. I'm thinking target 2, 68.5, 68.6. It caps us. It caps us for now. And I'm still looking for all the bigger scenarios. 39K. I'm just looking for the point where we get to 59, we crack the prior low, all right, and that breaks structure again, little counter, and then it's under this hop level. And I'm going to stick with that. Whether it's a bounce now and then down, however we whittle this out, okay, absolute breakdown zone to 39K is under the hop level. Under 59.5, I'll give me, the close. Get under 59.6, 59.5. Then we see the larger capitulation. Even if I wanted to be bullish, there's nothing there yet. I will say this, okay? Can we at least get a green bar after how many months straight down? Because this has been just a devastation. Haven't seen this happen where you're 5 months down 6 out of the last 7. And if you're anywhere, going back to like 2022 cycle, and I would say like here, you're either, well, I don't like it there, okay, but that was February 2022 because I'm thinking we broke first structure, which that first pivot low, which on that chart would be here. Maybe a pause similar to there, and then we get to 39K, which is still there. And I said this last time. I want to say it again. I have a plan for 39K. Okay, it's not that I'm saying BTC to zero, but sure, if we get down to 39K, it's going to be probably 6 more months of this. But we get down there and we generate some oversold signals at the same 786 that we saw every prior cycle, and remove log. It's got to be arithmetic. That's part of the problem. But we get down there again. It's going to be the cycle low if the cycle holds. If the cycle holds. what I'm thinking from a harmonic perspective, I just want to kind of paint this scenario to you guys. You know the deal. We have been looking. Every index was like a 3618 on every prior cycle. Was we go high to low. You can't really see it for 14 to 16, but it basically they all went 3618 or more extreme there, and then the other cycle into 2021. All right, that was another 3618 there to there. You guys know that deal. This past cycle, the 3618 was what we were looking for above literally 125. And I called for it. Okay. I literally, on the day it topped out, I was like, all right, looks like we can now start that move to the minimum 2618 that we've been talking about for a while. And what happened from 125 to 111? It just rolled over. And then once we broke that 111 and under 107, really by mid October, I was like, this is a problem. You should not be rolling over when you've done that move, especially if it's going to be a 3618. What this ends up being is a 1618, 1902. And what does that tell us? That, well, diminishing returns. Potential that the last cycle was a diminishing return. And I just want to say this, okay? My thought for the next Bitcoin cycle, if we get down to that 39K, was that worst case scenario, we go to 39K and then we just do a 382. A minimum harmonic bounce. Yes, we could maybe even do a full recovery. But then the next cycle, if this is going to be weak AF, you don't take out those prior highs. There is a trade down there at 39K. There is. Beyond that, it's going to be a wait and see. But I'm stacking levels, waiting for confirmation. If you see Williams asking a great question, if it's a diminishing return situation because we didn't go 3618, we failed 1618, would drawdowns be less? The worst case scenario here, just pure harmonic speculation of like how the structure could unfold, would be something like your 39K, it's some kind of like a shark creature formation where 786, we know that is, it's 30. I'm approximating here, but it's like that's 37, 36.5. You get a BC 1618, which would generally put you there, and then some kind of a 50. I would definitely expect like a harmonic bounce off of this level here, no matter what. Is it going to be a failure? Roll over? Let's see how it comes in there. But the whole critical aspect of this structure breaking down last month, you shoot the gap. We saw that last cycle. We've seen that a few cycles. I brought up those charts numerous times. They're on X. But it's like this. All right, and follow it. It's real close, guys. The similarities of cycles, proportionally, they're spot on. Okay, spot on. There, and then the last cycle would be get to the 786 and then start looking. And even in then, most of these cases, you're hitting levels and it's still taking 2 or 3 months to generate a stabilization. But that's what we're looking for. That's the only scenario longer term I'm looking on Bitcoin until we finish the year. And we're going to respect the 4-year cycle on the way down the same way we did on the way up. Absolutely. What's going on, Rolls-Royce? We can look at Rivian, and I think we should be starting to think opportunities. We're going to get oversold, guys. And it's going to set up another situation like last year. Absolutely. Yeah, we could say deep crab on that, Joe. I mean, again, Joe's saying this. I agree with you. You do have X, A, B, C, D minimum. Yeah, it's not pretty, but it's there. You have the minimum constraints. If you go off of that X, A, the B point ends up being an 886. With check that out. Isn't that amazing that it was like almost exact 382, 97, 98K, and then we throw it down. So, yes, that deep crab structure is there. Treat that pattern formation as a target, which it's a damn good one. I mean, I really like that where it's, 43K, 1618 approximately. It's low 40s. And then the BCD segment is actually already halfway through. So you break the B and then you're down a magnet move to the D, C to D. So despite the last 48 hours, I mean, nice little relief rally, not a biggie. Um, and again, guys, just keep the levels short-term level. We could be brushing up, maybe even as high as a touch above 70K. We don't have any immediate oversold or sorry overbought HSI. Our last trigger was here, and typically when we see this, it came so close. It's kind of begging to be retested. I don't think if there wasn't such a crazy geopolitical event over the weekend, we probably would have hit this. But I'm still looking for that kind of move. And immediately, 70K. I'll call it 70K, something like that. We're still working this channel, this box out. Yeah, I mean, again, it's all right. It happens. I don't think we were off our minimum low by 250 points, and I'm still not looking for longs. I'm just looking for that counter trend reaction. Wait and see. I do think that this is still working out to be a quicker scenario. So I'm thinking that the bulk of the move that we're going to see once we crack 59.5, 59.6, whatever, gets done most of the business by June, in fact. And who knew? I mean, who knew with everything going on that would be the news event that they would plug in to explain why we're going down? But yeah. Okay. Let's cover a couple more. I'll get to other ones. Yeah, we'll get the BBAI. Gold. I think gold's going to remain volatile, and it was, up a couple hundred yesterday, back down. Remarkable 10% corrections. And 4-hour chart. Let's go regular trading hours like that. I think that's even better. We are still in an uptrend channel. We're just at the higher end of the gold channel. Gold's range, immediate range, I'd say it's 54 on the top side. Maybe a scratch. Did we get to 55? Oh, let's look at the pre-market because I want to show you why 55 is so important. The high overnight or a couple nights ago, that was 54.34. All right. The low end is like 4,800. But the overall path forward for gold is still a channel like this. All right. Still a trend channel like this. And it doesn't, what's going on now does not really change the fact that longer term weekly or even monthly, monthly's like this. Okay. We're up here with a couple of arrow dot type of things. So this is going to be a key month. Open trigger on like this monthly signal right now puts resistance between 5360 and 5435. It's essentially saying that, hey, 5500 should cap for now. Just for now. It's like a sideways pause. And 5500, if you recall, was the all-time. Super old time. Where is the? No, it wasn't that one. Wait, hold on. It was off of the last cycle low, high to low. 2011 to there, and then that's not it. Wait a minute. Sorry. I've got this wrong. What? Why is the gold thing? Hold on. Something not right about the gold. Where was my 3618? Come back to that. 5400 was the 3618, but I don't know why I don't. I'm missing something here. Either way, I would just be focused on 4 hour chart. And 4800, why? Last confirmation. Actually, that low is 4868. Sorry, 48. Let's get it right. 4890, 4880. And kind of up here where generally that's up there was what, 50, almost 56, that 3618. I got to look, I think I was looking at a different chart why that was a 3618. But still fine, guys. I mean, gold, we want to take care of the, or take advantage of the volatility. And then even on the daily here, I would be looking for this kind of a thing where we come back into the channel, even a median line test. Pretty much the next HSI is going to be the signal. So gold, fine. Let it come in. Wait for it to get oversold. Kind of similar to what we looked at last year with the markets. Yeah, I look, gold's programmed. 5K is going to be pounded out for support. It's going to take time. 10K is the general target everyone's got in the back of their mind. And then silver, I think, is an interesting scenario too. It looks like they're really trying to defend the 90 level. All right, but a lot of talk about silver 300, 150 sooner than later. And I'm not surprised by that. I mean, there's bigger numbers on silver where once we get through this digestion, could be like a 30-week type of thing. We're going to continue this channel going forward. Daily, we actually triggered a lower overbought, and that was around 95 bucks. Think of it this way, pure levels. For now, where a month ago we were like saying, okay, got to hold 70 or 60, 60 to 80, we're going to flip that and say pretty much 70 to 90. But stay within that channel. And again, the silver situation is get oversold on the 4 hour chart and keep playing that. Play within this channel. Actually, the 4 hour chart looks like you're real close. I mean, these lows are trying to hammer it out. Best way to play spot silver, just go SLV. Okay, a little oversold at 81. There's a difference. Just let you guys know that the SLV is not a mirror of the spot price. It's a couple bucks different, maybe five. Overbought on the 4 hour. Go on the extended hours too, guys, because it's a commodity market. The obvious lows are back at like 66. Just let that come to you. Again, I do think that we want to see this thing get oversold, finish the retrace that started at the end of January, and get ready to jump on. Get ready for minimum retest of like this dot resistance. A lot of things up back up there at 100. I don't think that was the top. SLV's got a ways to go, and it's not going to take long. Like by the end of the year, it'll be pretty obvious. I think we go in the next like 2-3 months. We get some oversold trigger, and then before you know it, you find yourself back to 99 or 100, resuming longer term uptrend. Even like, let's go off of last year. It's you're kind of looking at two characters of this primary uptrend, and that was fairly aggressive, or we stay on the accelerated uptrend, which still back down to 575 ish. All good. A lot of that is shaping up, but it's not triggered yet. Closer. SLV could be something where we get down, we retest these support triggers, 69 ish, 70 ish, and then we look to resume that back to 100. Couple others. Short, we can look at Tazi. I know, shout out to all the folks in Saudi. A lot of harmonic traders in Saudi Arabia. All right, I'll get to that. I'll look at that right now. It's like this. Although I do want to go to total return. No, that's not it. Aren't you talking this index? Hold on. Yeah, you're looking at the Saudi index. There you go. TASI. That's the Saudi index. What you got? Turn off the news. What do you have? It's another deep crab down here. There was a bullish pattern, sure, weekly. So again, Saudi Arabian stock market, all hell's breaking loose, and then you've got this kind of a thing. It is, if you're reading it, it is actually the first confirmation retest, okay, that we've seen. The type 1 was pretty crazy. Back down for the 2. There's type 2, but where's the first dot? It's all the way over here, and you're retesting that. Under 10,141, yeah, it's a problem. But consider today that holds there, and tomorrow, next day, you start turning back up. That could be it. I'm not too. Look, for the most part, even when we get that breakdown, guys, across the board, you want it to happen. Like it's just like last year. You want a shakedown to unfold. Let's segue. What's crude oil look like? I was not really that crazy about. I was thinking crude down there at $60 wasn't really going to do much. What's going on here? Well, you do have pattern, this kind of crazy bat pattern. I'm not, again, I'm not really changing much of my opinion. We're trying to break out of that downtrend. Looks like it. So early stages. Up $4. Not a surprise. If it was really severe, this thing would be up 10, 20 in a week. And monthly chart is still like this. Got some crazy numbers down here. It is a type 2 that already completed, and that was all the way down there at $12. Is that an additional confirmation area? Too early to tell. Crude oil has done nothing for 5 years, guys. Is this the first time we should be thinking about it? Maybe. Maybe. The thing that catches my eye is we are above the 50 on crude. That's a big thing. We haven't seen that, and we haven't seen that kind of a breakout on the indicator. Like, look, it's kind of like this. Can we get that XAB, and then you break out not only above the 50, but above that W structure? So, all right, not bad. Longer term, I'm still saying probably a one-off. If it's going to lead to something larger, you've got weeks. You need more green bars. Like if this was going to do a larger move and retest, say, prior resistance triggers all the way up there, you need to do 2 or 3 green candles to get there. For now, let's just, I'm watching it. I'm not too crazy about chasing that. The big energy play, guys, that I just always say, go with the refiners. Valero up another 4 today. Okay, Valero, refining stocks. Some of the other ones, the big integrateds, they're not, you're there for the dividend yield, but the refining capacity is just only going to increase as time goes on. ConocoPhillips weekly, yeah, you're up against some resistance coming off of some nice patterns from last year. But those are the ones to look at. Valero, is my number one. Valero, oh, MPC, Marathon Petroleum. Okay, and that's actually looking real good. About ready to make that continuation. So they continue. Winners continue to win. Valero is the number one. You're gonna have to just let that come back in. Couple of questions. More 37K for Bitcoin. It depending on the data feed again. That's always there's a slight difference. I'm saying 39K for Bitcoin, sub 40. It could be as low as look, it could be as low as 25 if it falls apart, but I think a sub 40. I think it's sub 40. Those refiners, energy guys will want to do refiners. The VIX, let's take a look. VIX printing 2366. The two numbers that you really care about for VIX is a 40 reading. That's generally when things get their craziest. We've seen stuff go 60 or 80, but those usually are like a 1 week, 2 week phenomenon. Look at last year. Last year, what was that? Peak was 60, all the way there. And that could happen again. I don't, the volatility index is really, we do get patterns there, but you can't, it's tough to trigger off of them because it's really like a binary up or down reading. It stays range bound until it doesn't. The 4 hour, where's the 4 hour or daily? The 4 hours like this. VIX, every time you've been down to that 13 area, 15 area, you've held. We can do patterns the same way, like, hey, when's the volatility going to chill out? Well, you have a bearish pattern for now. We read it the same way. Maybe we chill out a little bit, but we would still read it like a 1-2. Type 1 down and then 2 return to finish the whole situation. So we're gonna read it like that. We still have work to do. Today you're coming off a little bit. Not a biggie. A couple others. Yeah, Greg, MPC. Yeah, we've talked about all those. MPC, Valero. I mean, all of those we've talked about. What's up, Grace? We can look at those. Greg wants to look at some silver. What's up, Topher? How you doing? Shark on Google. Lower time frame. So I think it's a type 1. We'll get into it. I think those are going to give us a great opportunity. They're going to get flushed like last year. Hold on 1 second. Let me bring that up. All right, that's better. MT30. What is that? I'll look at that. A couple other ones. What's going on? Echo Leaf is asking, great question. How long did it take me to be successful when I first started trading? Okay, I'll give you the exact trade. So I didn't have the tools. I didn't have, I did hand drawing of charts. I explained that all in the first book, Harmonic Trader. That was like the discovery book. So the pattern thing back then, and like my first run was really like late 90s, mid late 90s, and there was a pattern. Okay, there was the trade I remember is Legato Systems, is long since gone, but Legato Systems, and it was really a big trade because everyone was tracing out, calling every M&W as a Gartley, and I was like, no, there's this new thing called a bat. We're looking for the 886. And it was like the Gartley was at 41, the bat was at 36, and I went at the bat. I remember, telling people took a position on it, and of course the market was flying. Okay, that differentiation, that was a really successful trade for me, like a big one, like a first kind of one where I made like over 10 grand on it. And in that time period, I basically doubled an account. It was really my first run, doubled like a 100K account, and did that over a 6 month time period. But it probably took me about a year and a half, 2 years to be able to even know what I was doing of risking that size of capital, and then realizing like singular trade that I knew I was on it, that was it. I think for most people, the learning curve, and that's a lot what we'll talk about tomorrow. Learning curve, especially new folks in harmonic patterns and the software. It's you have to give yourself 30 days. 30 days. You're brand new, 30 days. 30 days to get exposed to the action, the signals, okay? And then just the sheer digestion, like the muscle memory required. I think you can do it a lot faster because we didn't have the software. I mean, I guess 2001 was the first harmonic analyzer, but the confirmation strategies, the advanced algorithms, it took longer. I think you guys can do it in 30 days where you're at a level of confidence that you're not going to get your butt handed to you. So that's why we do the 2 week thing. In terms of success, I think the other thing to consider is well, actually two things. Okay, success, it's going to come in stages. It's going to actually come in bunches. You're going to have breakthroughs. It's how the learning curve, any trading methodology learning curve really goes. What we're doing with the software and everything is to give you guys a measured framework so that you understand every point of the situation. Hey, it should go from here to here, and I know it. I've got to risk it this amount, or my assumptions are wrong. That takes, like I said, a 30-day study to reinforce those strategies and learn how it really unfolds in the real world, real trading. Like I'm on the 5 second chart here, and I'll just kind of let me just highlight some really clear instances of what I'm talking about. Like we could see this pattern, a great deep crab pattern. All right. What do we know about it? Well, type 1, it prints, but there's the dot confirmation that we're looking for. Didn't get to the XA level and came off. No trade there. So there's a couple of things where you're going to go through and see a lot of patterns that, hey, maybe they were close, but that's not the exact trigger we're really looking for. I would say, out of all of these patterns, this crab pattern right here had the best confirmation. Right there, 736. The high was like 44, and the trigger, the exact dot, was 37, and had a quick flush down, just a reaction. It's one example, of situations that happen that you need to be aware of it. Okay, we're trading reaction, we're trading reversals. But you got to have a clue of like, all right, I'm there, I got confirmation, I entered, so then I'm playing it to what? To target or even counter signal. Managing aggressively. Okay, there's things like that where to turn the pattern into the opportunity, there is a next step of confirmation trigger. We will go over that tomorrow. Like tomorrow, I'm going to talk about exact 1-2 conditions. All right, let's review. Type 1 to target, type 2 return, and then the type 2 return, and then the type 2 reversal. What happens when it doesn't get there? You just let it be. But we are with the software, okay? And why I say 30 days versus a year or two from 30 years ago is the fact that we have all of that coded, printed, and so then we're just responding to signals and levels, which is doesn't take long. I mean, a week of exposure to the signals, levels, you see it, and then you walk through it. So keep alert on that. 30-minute time frame. Here's another one. Perfect. 30-second time frame. We're looking at this right now. If I get a trade, an ideal trade, guys, with a pattern, I'll jump it. But even here is a great example of there's the T1, and we simply want to wait for that. But where's my dot? No dot, no trigger, no trade. Now only off 225. Okay, good. Not bad. Not bad. If we get one, I'll hit it. Intraday, guys, I'm sticking on a 5-minute, 30-second, and 5-second time frames. And I usually want to see at least 30-second and a 5-second confirmation in the same exact area. We got nothing right now. Yeah, we can go to those. Sure. I'll look at Reddit and uranium, blah, 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 all of them. So that's a little primer for tomorrow. Okay, Reddit, because I know there's a big pattern. We're looking for that retest. Right back into the zone. Good one. Reddit was something we talked about last week. And what we've been looking for, confirmation was beginning of the month. And then what happened? This is exactly what I was saying. It's a really easy strategy. Are you disciplined enough to take the shot and then manage it properly if it shows up? Because the completion T1 dot arrow diamond, there's the ADD, there's confirmation. What happens on the first thrust? Counter HSI. So we're looking in this area. I think it needs it needed that retest under 147. The final piece, especially for these longer term swing type trades, will happen before the bigger price move is amplified, is not above the 50. So we never got above the 50. I would have to see that before I would go in there. We're at numbers, guys, but again, what do we need to see at the pattern zone for the ideal trade? I like to utilize T1. Even if I took away the pattern and everything and just had, all right, if I see T1 and then I'm dot, arrow, diamond, all of that confirmation pops up, I'm starting to look at those bars for a retest, stabilization. Only problem is we got a counter signal. So that's the last signal. So it's not there yet. I'd rather wait for even a breakout slightly above 147, 150 before we get into this condition, acceleration. That's what we're looking for. But a great one that you should line up. My concern is that we don't break out and we roll back down where this whole lower area is still valid for a retest. Not there yet. It's close, but not there yet. Google, of course. Look, Google is going to be the champ next 3 to 5 years. Is it just a question? Do we buy it at 300? Do we buy it at 200? We definitely want to be buying it. And here today, who brought that up? Whoever brought that up, thank you. Was that you, Doc? I forget who said that. We have another oversold. Look, this is a double dot. Arrow, diamond, dot. A lot like what we saw in October. So we're watching for a similar continuation. How did that happen? Well, what was the difference here? We got above the 50. Look, where's the dot? Dot was there. Were we above the 50? Absolutely. Coming out of October. The dot triggered, we got above the 50, and then we go serial. bar over bar. And that was all down there around 250, 245. And you continued. Where are we here? Clearly, Amplified is not only not above 50, it's back down. Big difference. I'm been trying to figure out how to code that filter, and I think I'm real close because we could have a diamond, but if we're not up here going above the 50, you're just not the character of the price action is still retrace, still consolidation. We want continuation behavior, but closer. Hey, I'm looking. I would say even today being like a day one type of situation, it might take 3 to 5 days, but we start looking here for that turnaround. Maybe 300's the floor, but you have a couple more days of work for Google until that happens. I like it. It's similar to what we saw in Amazon. Remember Amazon? We were looking for this low end dot arrow where it looks like we'll check back. We have a diamond. In this case, kind of a sloppy type 2 pattern. So even this is still early, but generally 200 bucks on Amazon. Maybe as low as like 189, 197 ish. All right, with these and the way the whole market's shaping up. Remember last year, we had a similar deal. We got really close to getting oversold. We had the final capitulation, and that's what that was, and then gone. And I want to use the same kind of thought, strategy, assumptions. This is real close to being at its maximum oversold. We buy it generally 190 to 200. In a year, you're back to 240, 250. Nothing changes on this stuff, guys. I'm telling you. Long-term trends are still intact. The deeper oversold move, the better the opportunity. Let's say 190. It's under 200 by a scratch. We were already there. Okay, I'm setting these up. I really think they're looking good. We've seen a couple others recover. Check out Netflix. Absolutely destroyed this year. 50% correction off the all-time high. What was that? Like 135. All right, not quite, almost down to 75. That's oversold. All right, now take a look at Netflix longer term. There's that weekly. Did we bust out here? All right, is this a broken long-term uptrend? A couple of years? Maybe, but we are retesting prior weekly support, which was like 84, and now we have a diamond. Last time we had a diamond was all the way back there at $18. Are you kidding me? Wait a minute. Netflix was $18 at the 22 low. Wow. Maybe I was thinking about something else, but that's amazing. I would start looking off of that massive engulfing, and I think Netflix is going to try to recover. It's kind of like Costco. Weekly looks good. What about the monthly? Yeah, see, the monthly, this is where it really gets interesting. First monthly signal in 4 years, and every signal, every monthly HSI has been a great continuation area. 22, and then back there in 19, and then back there in 15, and geez, go back to, what was that, 2012. What's that tell you? They come along every 3 years, and they are not to be ignored. So Netflix, 410 billion market cap. That was as low. I mean, last week you were at 75 bucks, and that was more like a 350, 320 billion market cap. But this is still a great area. We will close it by March, but I'm definitely interested. You have to throw yourself kind of forward, realizing that here on HSI with that arrow won't be official till the end of the month, but it's a lot like what we saw back in 2022. It's a big correction that will be officially over early April. And it's, look, not crazy to assume that we're in a long-term uptrend, right? Sure. Little correction, absolutely. The only two targets I would seriously look at from here, from there, 382. The immediate level for Netflix is like 100, 101. Almost got there last week. But it's either 100 or it's a full 886 retest, which is like 130. And I like that one. Intuit was the other one. These were massive and got chopped in half. Intuit was a 50% correction. Now hitting support down there at 395. You're up 17 today, but it's the start. Plenty of time. That's the other kind of thing to consider. Plenty of time, because check out what monthly's doing. Let's get to the end of month on these. And I would say that, despite today being up, if we can complete, we're probably going to start into that process where we're going to stabilize generally around 400, and you're looking for the longer term trend to continue. That's it. But those are monster opportunities. If you're not looking at Intuit, you're not looking at Netflix, those are second tier Mag 7 style, like JV, Mag 7 JV. So great. Yep. What's going on? Yeah. All right. Oh, okay. We can do that. How about an HPC 30? Grace, if you're looking for an HPC 30, now's your time. Look, send me a note. HPC 30, first person gets that 30-day package. I've been backing off, guys. I'm not here to haggle with people, but I'm happy to give away a couple a week, one or two a week. Everyone else, listen, if you send your TradingView username, HPC, send your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst.com. I'll get the 14-day free trial to you, and I'll give you the link for tomorrow. All right, Sharma, I know you've won before, but let's do one more. And then Grace, you'll get it. And Ethan, those are the three, guys. You three, get it. What's up, Daniel? I can look at hubs in a second. You three guys, Ethan, Foundation Grace, and Vats Sharma. Guys, hit me up in the Discord. Everyone else, you want to come tomorrow or you want to get the recording because you can't show up tomorrow, 10 o'clock a.m., I'll connect with the Discord, get on the list. All right, those are two. What are some other things we should be considering here? Because I want it to come in. Let's go back. Let's see where NASDAQ is. Can't believe it's already 2 o'clock. Had a late start today. NASDAQ NQ, guys. Now only off 220. 804. 5-minute charts like that. What do we have here? Not a lot. I mean, structurally, I haven't been seeing too many great patterns coming along. Maybe once a day on ETH. That's where yesterday's was this crab pattern, and that was at 25.050 roughly, or 060. And then bullish pattern, you had this. You're retesting that yesterday's crab at like under 24.5. The 5-minute time frame, yeah, this is important. Notice again, dot, arrow, diamond, double dot, and then the retest was not ideal, but if we're ballparking here and you can't flush it, I'm not surprised to see some kind of counter trend move, and everything has been a counter trend move for the last 3-4 months, easy. What we're looking for. Okay, where does this stuff continue on the longer term so we can define direction and mix that with the short term. Currently, interestingly enough, the 4 hour or even hourly. Remember the shark? That was a week ago. Came up 25,400 ish. And that was, this is interesting. Okay, so give you guys some perspective here. That was the NVIDIA earnings. And remember when I said last year, after NVIDIA earnings, that was the sell signal? Well, there you go. I mean, we were just looking for that to happen, a type 1. And that's ideal type 1 behavior. And that was 24.9. This morning, we were flirting with 24.3. And we could still get it. All right, we just entered into the next 1 hour bar. This is a big candle, guys. Big candle. We had progress. We have a dot, but just be aware. Are we going to retest that? That's for today. I mean, immediately. Where's that? That's 641. Currently 807. Keep an eye on that for today. I love the movement. I'm really. Let me open up. I'll open up the dome. Let's see if we get something to execute up here. Because if we go back to 647, then give me something. Ah, this is a nice one. All right, I'm not ready. Hold on. Let me see if I can get that opened up. 807, guys. I'm telling you right now, 807. But I'm not ready. See, you got to be ready to trade when the market's ready to be traded. Let me open it up. But I'm looking at 807 back to 24774 right now. Let me open this up. As far as the prop stuff right now, I told you guys I'm working on Apex. Just opened up accounts with Tradeify and I think My Funded Futures. Although I like the wealth charts, that platform. I'm not crazy about Apex. It's easier for me to move stops on all of this. Let me see if I can get this set up. Come on. And we'll talk about this tomorrow, but let me just kind of highlight why I'm looking for this. It's a type 1 off the prior pattern, was never retested. We're 810 at target 2 was the first confirmation. You're looking for a move reaction up there. Where's confirmation? Not till about 816. Got rejected. We're down, and now 1-2 on the 5-second time frame. Wish I had some confirmation there, but I'm looking for this to do the larger return move. That's why. And that's what we're doing. Again, we're reading framework. We're triggering off the signals, understanding that, hey, there's a type 1 unresolved, needs a type 2. So 807 clipped. I'm almost ready. We might just have to talk this one down off the ledge. Hold on. And I'm trading NQ, but same stuff works on ES. I will be moving to ES very soon to include that. All right, so far 93, 91, 88, trying to get to 74, 807 was the breakdown. All right, now I'm set up. I'm not going to execute this one, obviously, but let's just ride that down, and we'll see if we get another one. It is 2 o'clock. I'll try to go to about 2:30 today, guys. And if there's a couple of things while we're waiting you want to look at, let me know. You DM me. Okay. There's only one Scott Carney profile, and I will chat there in the Discord right now, so that you guys in my Discord. I just put the link. Okay, so hit me up, and then the official profile. Let me just show you that one. Is when you go into my Discord. I'm going to tweet it right here. Okay, DM me here. Check in the basic chat, guys. And it's Scott Carney -HT. That's the official. All right, hit me there. You have any questions, do that. Also, I will, once you submit your TradingView username to hpc at sr-analyst.com, you will be sent webinars resources. All right, here's a retest back to 807. All right, first confirmation. I kind of like what's going on. I got to set up. Oh, I'm not, see, I'm talking. I said 807. Hold on. Ah, all right, I got to stay focused on this because that's the second one I missed there. But 807, that was the number, 807.50 to be exact. What I want set up is I want a take profit and stop loss. I do stop loss about 9 to 11 ticks. With today, go 44 ticks kind of a thing. There's 807. Retest. Hold on. Okay. Keep it there. 807 was the number. Can we get one more retest up here? I might be too late on it. Yeah, there's the breakdown. Regardless, we're going to get plenty of opportunities, guys, over the next 20, 30 minutes. But 807.50 was the retest, and then there's the dot. What was that? A 15-point flush. Not bad. In fact, I think we'll get another shot because, look, there is the last dot. Let's take it to the first counter signal. We're scalping here. Where's the first dot? Right there. Retesting 92, 95 right now. It's probably, for that scalp, you're done. 30-second time frame, yeah, we're kind of in between at the moment. 30-second, last one was basically 87. But still defines the range, defines what I like to call realm of possibility. 5-minute, not as nice. I mean, I wish I had a dot up here in the same area, but 807, there's working. She's working. There you go. Obvious is under the 76 level. Looking for scalp ranges, guys. Let's see what this does. And let me know what else you guys want to. If there's a couple of things you guys want to look at, let me know. I'm going to wait for the next dot. And 5-second time frame, if you're not looking at it, do. Because you're getting plenty of micro patterns and you're getting ideal confirmation. So 807.50, bang, there's 30, and you're coming back down for this lower retest, which is exactly what we had talked about 5 minutes ago. There you go. There's 40. And still, no shame. Like if you're trying to play the scalp game here, which is really what I'm getting at, because the rules, consistency stuff is so tight that even if you're taking it dot to dot, you're a winner. You're a winner. And that might be the best thing to do initially. But make the larger read. Like we understand that that's a type 1 reaction going to target 2 and has to come back down. Oh, look, all right, we don't get there on the first run, but there's a bearish pattern in between. Bang, all the way back down. And I'm not really looking for longs. I'm looking for areas where this continues to roll back down. The 30-second is like that. Boy, this could be something. And larger time frames are still, they're pointing lower. But you get it. I mean, again, so what? All right. I wasn't ready that first run to hit that, but the read is clear. And I'm going to say this. Someone, they asked earlier, okay, how long does it take to really crack trading and to have some skills? You need to be able to make those reads first. You need to be able to go through the chart and be like, all right, short term here, we're overbought. Why? We've got triggers. We got a micro pattern. We have a prior pattern that needs to be retested. Where is all that triggering? Up here, 807-ish. What are the obvious levels that need to get tested? It's back down in this zone. All right. So we knew that up here. We just came in. I just opened up the chart and I said, all right, 807. We need to do. We're looking for that return. 807 was the number, and bang. Where's the next 30, 40 points? Down here. So we'll wait for the next one. I'm actually looking at this. Can we get another type 1 to like 82 and then really crush it? Something like that would be pretty sweet. I hope that makes sense to people. That's part of my point of what I'm doing here. All right, trying to lay that out real time. If you can capture 15 to 20 points, you're doing fantastic. If you can get that larger move, great, as long as it doesn't work against you. Like you get a drawdown. I mean, if you're up 15 points or something, you guys know the deal. We're immediately going to break even on those positions. I'll see. We're going to get another overbought condition. All right, and I'm still looking for these levels to be tested lower. Are we over? Yeah, 5 minutes rolling back down again. So that 807 was it. That was the edge. We'll do it again. Let's see if I'll take a couple more of what you guys want to look at. Let's see if we can get like a quick jump back to like 67. Here you go. Here's a great one. Okay, it's a 5-second crab pattern. No confirmation. So I'm not touching it. All right, but what I would look for, and probably the better scenario is, from 38 to 67, give us a dot up here, and then we'll hit it back for the return. Let's see. Get that. But no confirmation. So that's also something where patterns are going to work out, no doubt. But the pattern trades, for me, they require at least that dot. T1 or T2 designation, some kind of dot. I don't have that here, but I would still look for just reaction. I don't want to execute something that does not have indicator confirmation with it. Make that clear. Because I think that's something when people get the software and they see patterns all over the place, and then they try to jump things without confirmation, they get easily burned. I'm looking for next dot, sell it down for the 2. But here comes 67. We were at 57. Making that read is the first step. So again, follow up to that learning curve question. Be able to make that read. And then execute, train yourself, muscle memory on the dots. A couple others. What's up? Yeah, I can look at a couple of those. Where are we here? Everyone, send your TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com and go to harmonictrader.com. Get the basic foundation material there. Now down 275. Listen, this was down 650 at one point. So we've got a ways to go. And we can do the 1-2. Like, let's say we can get a type 1 up here. I'd be looking for a 67 down to hop at 714, if not lower. Because the 5-minute and some of these others, look, we're still down. We're still down in the long term. This is probably like your mid-morning rally. Take us into midday, and then let's see what we get to power hour. What are we going to do? Hourly, 4-hour. Yeah, it's so choppy. I mean, it has been just super chop for months. You can see it on the 4-hour. We just continue. We break that point. That's 24,250, 24,240, guys. That's where the larger time frame breaks down. There you go. You're back to 67. There you go. Back to 67 coming up. 30-second time frame. Well, that's pretty nice too. 30-second time frame. But the 5-second, that's where you're going to see the most opportunities. There comes 67, okay? No confirmation, but I still know what's going to happen there. That's reading the framework. Ooh, can we get this? 67. T1 goes on. T1 goes on. Let's see. Let's monitor. Can we get the next signal here? We're still above the 50 on HSI. Remember, this was the little type 1 reaction. It actually helps us. We're there to there. Okay. Getting to the 50. I'm looking for that return. There's a diamond. 67.75. I got it 72. 72, go. Stop even immediately. I'm immediately at break even here. I'm up 140. Oh, sorry, guys. 136, 160, 190. I'm going to take it at 150, 160. Bang. I'm just looking for the scalp. So that was like a quick 100. It was up 190. Right back up. Try it again. Let's try it again. The 5-second turned right around and started going back up. So any of those little micro signals, if it doesn't follow through literally that fast, you're getting that separation. We get 5. We were up like 10 points. You go break even plus. And if it goes against you, you hit eject and start again. We'll try it again, okay? And I'm just getting myself set up here. Let me bring up the other screen. So there you go. Let's see here. Next one, 89 was that type 2, target 2, 89. Take another shot. It's a crab. It's a type 1 crab. There's the diamond. 89's target 2. That's where I'd be triggering. Where's my other screen? There you go. Come on. Make sure you've got your... didn't have my preset, my take profit, my stop loss. Has to be there. So watch it here. Nope. No dot. That happens. And I'm going to say this also. This is a trickier trade. Okay. We have to have a T1 arrow diamond dot. That's what you're looking for. But it's a trickier trade than a straight out pattern trade. But you're looking for those areas where define it and then return it. Probably it for now. Maybe we get one more dot back up here at 89. And that's okay. I mean, listen. We've got the ideal model. We know what should happen. If it's not going to unfold ideally, we're typically in those spots where the reaction is enough where we immediately go to break even. This, again, we're talking 5-second, 30-second charts here. Super short term. Taking multiple shots. One contract, bang 100, couple hundred, you're done. That is like a minimalist approach here. But to line up these areas with the clear confirmation signals to find those lines. 89 right now. But on the micro time frame for the next literally minute or two, because of this, we go from overbought, oversold pretty quickly. That stops you out. 89's here, and what we could possibly see is a dot somewhere here, 89 to 94 in this area. I'm just trying to trigger off these dots, and ideally with a diamond with it. Couple others. What's going on? Yeah. Commodity. Yeah. Couple others. Let's keep me, guys. Let me know if we get that on the. Here's the 30-second time frame. Ooh, this is a better one. Let's stay on here. 30-second is set to go. Okay. Um, we have a check back. We are gonna get a dot very soon. You're looking for return. One more red candle. Let's keep it there because we're gonna look for return to 38. Let's keep it here. 89 was the number. 88.50 on this one. There's the dot. Come on. Perfect spot. 50 level on HSI. Amplified cracking 50. Now let's see. Hold on. 20 seconds. So we're right there, guys. Now let that arrow diamond dot on 30. Waiting for the return move. Hold on. Looking for that dot. Not until the bar. No. One. It didn't complete. You see how that happened? So we're still waiting. Still waiting. It has to be on the close. We might get a shot back at 89-ish. That's why we wait for the dot. This is actually ideal. 88.50. I don't have a dot, so that's why I haven't played that trigger yet. Back up, back up. All right, not a problem. There's the dot. Still not complete yet. Still need to get that. Here we go. 20 seconds. So we're literally kind of lining this up to the bar within the framework. Nope. No trade there. No dot, no trade. That's exactly what I'm talking about. We might get one. Maybe get one, but not yet. There's the dot. All right. Check back against that. Like 88, 89, and the open trigger is 94. That's what we said before. Hold on. Let's keep it here for a second. Here's the retest. I'm looking. Where's HSI? Not going the right spot. All right. That's on the 30-second time frame. We're close. But just a look. First bar. Literally, that was the first bar. That last bar. Where are we at? Still above the 50, going higher. This is going to be, if we're really in the right spot, HSI is moving down against the 50. And it could be we need another 30 seconds or whatever. Close. 94.75. And again, we could risk, you risk literally like 4 points. Not there yet. Like I need this rolling down. I need HSI under the 50. Not there yet. This wants to break 800. There it is. 88. Still go 88 on that. Come on. 94.75 is the open on that. That was a reaction. Come on. I'll go 95 on that. I'm in. Let me go immediate break even. I'm going to probably take 2 or 3 shots on this. 40, 60, 80. Come on, break it down. Stopped out. Let's try again. Try again. You guys saw how that gave me like 5 points. It's 94.50 is that number. And with this scalping, guys, if you're not getting that kind of separation on the first move, you're not hitting it at the right spot. Period. I'm probably even a little early because we didn't break under the 50 just yet. We were flashing there, but that's all right. I'm willing to take the shots there. I should have the 5. Let me look at the 5-second because we want something on the 30 and we want something. 5-second time frame is the best. All right, that shows us a little micro pattern at 802. Let's see if we get one more shot up here. Keep an eye on that one. But for this, the way that I'm trying to do this and show you guys what the patterns and the scalping It's that precise. If you're not, like I said, you're not getting that instantaneous move, you're not at the right signal. And I'm more than happy to take two or maybe even three shots in an area as long as I get a quick reaction like that. What happens is when we get it with the right confirmation, we'll get that 5-10 point move and then it'll break free. Mm, boy, that looks really nice. 88.50, guys. I'm gonna that really looks nice now. I'm really liking that 88.50 area. Type 2. Now it's look, there's 50 on HSI, 50 on on amplified. 88.50. Can we hit that? Sweep me back there. Retest 88.50 and then dump it. Ah, gotta be in front of this. Kind of switching screens too much. Let me lock in my screens here. Come on, 88.50. No, let me try it again. Let's see what we do up here. We're about to bounce out of that 5 second. Hold on. That's the 30. Let's trigger off the 5 from here. All right, the 5 second, same pattern. And that type 1 is done. So, all right, type 1, this is why we look at the 5 second time frame. Again, type 1, done, go for the 2. I think we'll get one more shot up there. Type 1, bang for the 2. And then down for the day. Let's see if that shapes up. That's the 1-2. We still have to retest 38 back here. Why? It's an unresolved type 1. Does it have to? Not always, but we're going to get this bearish pattern, some back-to-backs, T1 designated, looping back down. Hold on for that for a second. Let's see what that goes. Yeah, I can look at Palantir, BBAI. Let me focus on this, see if we get this one more shot. Just a quick move back to 800 and then dump. 230. For 30 minutes or so, it'll power hour. Let me open it. I'll open those on another platform here. Hold on. Looking for that afternoon dump. I think you're down, what? You're down 250 now? I really think this is, yeah, 250. I do think we could be down, finish the day down like 400. Yeah, this is kind of a weak bounce. It's not that strong of a bounce. A couple. All right, so a couple questions on Palantir while we're waiting on that retest. Palantir 146. Guys, remember it's a type 1 shark to 5-0. Looks like this. 170 is the target. This is actually the zone turnaround we've been waiting on. Here you go. Let me come back to that. There's Palantir, guys. So did the work it needed to, and you're out of the zone. The big thing we were talking about last week, getting above the 50 on amplified after cracking HSI. So all of that is good. You're 146, target 176. Leading the pack out of that shark zone. So that's all right. You got it, Greg. Have a good one. URA, uranium. URA and all of those are just going to give us daily pullbacks, retracements, and we just got to wait for it. The last one was back in December, 43. And that's still a type 1. So again, is it type 1 or type 2? Because we're looking at this where this is still in return phase. Type 1 back. The bigger opportunity is on the retest of the pattern. And I'm, bullish. I think this uptrend that uranium has exhibited over the last year is just looking for spots to continue. That's all. That's all. 766. Where are we? Not yet. I'll come back. 807 was prime. One or two more. BBAI. What a stinker. BBAI trying to put in a confirmation on its long-term uptrend. Deep crab on the daily now, but yeah, I mean it's kind of like a waffle here. It really needs to turn around at 370. We were looking at this kind of a thing. Stick on the uptrend, give us a C point, and go. Nope. 370's got to be it for BBAI. That has to be, you're looking at the low there at 370. Got to turn around. Crab pattern, but just not the ideal daily confirmation. The weekly, same kind of situation. Kind of languishing there. I still own a little chunk, so I'm with you. But the daily is from a while back. But weekly is oversold. So before that pivots out, yeah. Just give that more time. There's a few of those. Now 56. There's a dot. Let's see if we get back. APP. Is that App Lovin'? There's a APP, and actually APLD is the other one. But APP's like this. App Lovin'. Ugh. And this is a data center thing. Data center play. Yes, 2023 was $16. It went to $7.25. And then a 50% correction. Is this an opportunity? Is that an opportunity? Potentially. Remember framework. So type 1 to target 1. Beautiful. Type 2 reversal with confirmation to target 2. This has got a lot. Like that 1-2 very well could be over. So let's check this. I mean, literally, this is week 1. It's day 2 of week 1. Yesterday was day 1. Like 408, that target 2, you can use that as support. And you're looking for the larger continuation back to like 725. But might be a little early on that. 408's the number. APLD, Applied Digital, that's another one. See, we're against a lot of these trend lines. And they're starting to get served up like that on the weekly. Another overbought. And you look at Applied Digital. It was a monster mover. But still on the uptrend. So I'm looking, Applied Digital is one of these that we've seen a lot of these low floater data service go 10x. Well, you might not know it down here, but there or there, and then here, and then maybe again here. 28-ish. Applied Digital. And the 4-hour, there's a pattern here. Should be. Yeah, it's a shark. I thought so. $25. APLD. I do kind of like that. We're getting really close. Getting close on that one. Where are we at with that? Ugh, 40. Are you kidding me? There's 740, kids. Never got another shot at it. But what do? We learn. There's the return move. Okay. Let's try one more time. But there was the full return move. Nice one. Who put that up? Hims failed. Of course, Mr. Kennedy, thank you. Uh, let's go over, do a couple more, and then I'll come. I'm just looking for one more to jump on. It's a damn shame we didn't ever got the Type 2, but that happens. 807 was the scratch high. I mean, that was again. Look, I'm okay with missing opportunities, guys. It happens. I'm not ready. I don't have my screen right in front, or I'm riffing on something else, or I got to get another cup of coffee, or go to the bathroom, or something. That happens. But we get the reads consistent, like spot on every time. You get to that point, and we were talking about learning curve. That's where you know you're starting to put the skills together. You can't care about missed opportunities. You do have to have kind of a nonchalant attitude. I tend to beat myself up way too much. But the one thing we have to do, make the reads proper every time. And we haven't had another opportunity here on the 30. Or that's a 5. The 30 was like this. So, and I kind of get the feeling that, oh, that was the 2 off the 32nd as well. All right, we'll try again. We'll go down here. But that was, look, we had bearish stuff looking left. The 5-second time frame had a ton of stuff here. 88.50. 5-second was why we went a little bit higher. And that segment all the way back down to retest. That's it. I'm just looking for places. Little intraday rallies. Keep selling those down. Hop level 714 right now. Still no dot, but if I'm reading this right, intraday, we should have a little bounce off of 14. If we get a dot, which is one more green arrow, green bar, there you go. Start there. I'm saying this to new folks because we have a bunch of new folks here. Okay, get the reads right. Read the framework right. I think there's expectations in each and every one of us that we have to work through. All right, where the framework, type 1 to target 1, where's the dot? There's the check back. We expect the target 2. We expect the type 2 return. Okay, within that, you have to work out your interpretations, preparations, all of that. Take your shot. I mean, that one was, I was literally that last bar. I went in on that and it flushed me back out. I go a couple ticks, topped out, and then really rolled over. But I'm only waiting for those opportunities. I'm not going to chase it. We'll get another opportunity here soon. Oracle for Wayne. What's up, Wayne? Oracle's another. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. Hello. Look at that type 2. 714. Look at that. 70 points, guys. There's framework. That's massive framework. But that's probably it. I mean, boy, that was sweet. I'm still favoring short side, but that's exactly the kind of read you need to see. You're here. Okay, T2 generate, arrow, dot, checking back. I mean, that open of that bar at 717 was it. Hop at 14. And then bang, 60 seconds later, you're 100 higher. Awesome. But that's the workout you need to do. And you have to not care. I mean, just look, you're here to learn that. You're here to impress the muscle memory that you're at a T2 with confirmation. All right, should be a target 2, right? I don't know if it's going to be within 60 seconds or 90 seconds. That one was, but I'm positioned at the right spot. And again, you're risking less than 10 points there. But that's a beauty. 5-minute time frame, where are we here? Nothing really on the 5. We're under the 50s here, but we're not really generating anything yet. It's not in the right spot. If we were against like here, that 5 minute dot, I'd say that's probably where we go. Yes, we can still trade it though. 810. Oh, we went back to 807. Look, T2 dot. Come on, wake up. Wake up. And that trigger was 12. I'm going to keep it on here. So I'll walk through. Tomorrow we're doing that. Again, hit me on the Discord and I'll send you invites 10 a.m. And if you want the recording, I can pop that up. But this is what I'm finding I need to walk through with you guys. Establish the right expectations. What are the exact things we're looking at that's going to turn the pattern into a great trade opportunity? 5 second right here. You're going to get, look here, even intraday, 775. Why? Arrow, diamond, dot. You can trade a reaction off of that, but again, we're just quick reaction stuff. Like it's, look, no matter if you're extreme bullish, extreme bearish, all right, intraday, we're running into like a T2 arrow diamond dot. You're automatically thinking next 30 bars is down. Arrow diamond dot, oversold. Return it in the next 30 bars. That's 150 seconds or sooner. That's the way to think about it. You think about it like that. You look at the charts for a few days. I mean, not even a week. And it clicks. You start to develop the muscle memory. And you stop going from like, oh, I missed an opportunity, or I'm going to capture this because it's an extreme breakout and I'm going to miss it. And I know it's going to go another 300 higher. So I'm just going to jump on. You got to kill that. Get your brain in the spot where software's kicking it out. You're ready to take advantage of it. Your screen's not open. You don't have your coffee ready. You need to go to the bathroom, whatever. You get all of that ready before you're even in front of it. Like T2 up here at 1275, maybe as high as the hop level at 21. This is another one of those looping situations. And it's not like there's a million different situations, guys. Where are we there? That's like 12. Let's see if we get one. Last one. Last one. I'm going to get up to 12 here. There you go. Ah, come on. There you go. I'm going to get a dot right up in here. Let me bring this over. Go side by side. There you go. And my preset is, I think, 11 points. 13. I missed it. Come on, Scott. Clip me. I'm in. Automatic. Break even. Scratch it. No. Break even. I'm out. Get me out. There you go. Break even, out. Let's try again. I didn't like that overspill. Try one more time. See, come on, Scotty. I'm trying to be too precise there. I'm trying to get the exact tick. Give it one more shot. That was it. I didn't like that overspill. And where was it? I was at 13. Let's try again. Another shot here. Come on back up here. Because even with that last arrow, and that went for, it was 20 down. Now we're right back there. Back to that bar. Come on. Hold on. Come on. Here we go. Watching HSI. We're up here at 13, 15. HSI is triggering. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. All right, little overspill. Come on. See, look, HSI is overbought right now. It was going above 50. I'm still there. 13 still the number. We're going to get another arrow dot. That's fine. Use that 13 as the ballpark, but it's actually, sorry, it's 2150. Confirmation, the hop level is 2150 now. But I need a dot. Dot to whatever is the next counter signal. I think 2150 is a pure play. Give me a dot and we go. There you go. All right, there's check back, sweeping it. 25. Come on. Yeah, HSI is not breaking down. It's under the 50 level. That's why I didn't go. Hold on. We'll get it one more shot here. Going back up. It's against, we have a, it's like this looping type too. There. Did not, now HSI, if that can get underneath, we need that, there you go. All right, that's better. 37-ish. That's the last pattern. Hold on for a second. Give me a type 2 on this little sucker, and that would be it. I'm looking for this, and yeah, 30-second time frame too to be kind of it. Looking for this turn down. Where's the 5-minute? 5 minutes not even that weak. All right, let's see. Up here at the hop. Hop is what? Up there. All right. Printed. Where's our confirmation? Yeah, because now it's a crab. I need the dot, guys. I need the dot. Let me just wait on that. And I'm probably seeing things like, all right, why didn't I just click the button back there at that number? Because HSI was not underneath. As soon as we get that breakdown, I'll show you what I mean. It should be clearly moving lower under the 50 level. Like there, and then can we get amplified? That happens first. There you go. Maybe it's 41-ish. 41.75. Come on. XA level. Send it back up. There you go. Back in. No confirmation here. Look, it's the easiest way to just, are we above 50 or below? Right now, popping 50. Can we roll over? Don't have a dot. Look, T1 printed. Where's my bearish dot? Not there yet. Not there yet. And sometimes just, look, I can see T1. I need a yellow dot. What has happened after T1? Just the arrow. I want the dot after that. Still going. This will be my last one. I don't think we're going to print that. I want the pattern designation and then the dot. 41.75 is trying to affect it. Should I take a non-confirmation trade? Maybe. Hold on. I like what's happened on the 30-second time frame. But it's still not dot. Give me the dot. Wrong dot. No, and that's why again I don't want to break. I'm going to miss trades here, but I'm trying to show the ideal configuration, guys. The pattern designation with the dot. Yeah, I do it. I'm not going to deny that I'll take shots that I shouldn't be, but I have learned. I'm telling you, with the diamond and the dot, like that urge to get a position on versus responding to the signal, for this style is the only way to go. Like, be willing to let it go. I mean, could have taken a shot at 41.75, but yeah, I'm bending rules. Pattern confirmation, no. What I need is I need the confirmation to trigger the level. And if I don't get it, let it go. And I'd even say you got a couple of double dots here. Send it back to 41. There you go. Hold on. But yeah, if I see the T1, where I'm saying is, okay, where's target one? 41.75 to 18. Great. Did I get a dot? No, it didn't turn on the trade just yet. There's T1 to 18 level. T1, that would mission accomplished there. What I don't like is that we have a diamond on the 30-second time frame. I don't have I don't have the dot, and the 5 minute is kind of ugly too. So if I don't have signal, like if I don't have a 5 minute signal, don't even have a 30-second, I'm just expecting reactions. But this is looking like it still wants to go higher on that 5 minute and the 30-second time frame. Yeah, I mean, gotta demand all three. There's counter HSI right now at 30. And we know the 5 second situation, maybe the 2 comes in at 41 one more time, 41.75. And then we get a dot. And I'd go hit that. Hold on. Moving really fast, guys. So this kind of situation, you're plus minus 10 points per bar. You better have it at right at the edge. Come on. What is it? 250. You got 10 minutes till 3 o'clock. Stay here for a second. Is PSKY Paramount? Is that ready for a buy? Yeah, we talked about that last time. PSKY is the Paramount Global crab pattern at the low. It's like this. I'm gonna bring it over. I'm gonna keep that on the screen so we can watch, and then I'll pop in. There's two that caught my eye, so this is one of them. Remember this? Ugh. Okay, there's PSKY. The number is 1119. Wait for it. But this is a massive bat pattern. So 1285 right now. Let it retest 1165. The other one that caught my attention, I think this is kind of crazy, is anybody see Circle? $101 hit target one off the crab. That should be done. I would look for this later this year, back for the retest. If you wanted crypto to give you something, let this have its day and we'll get the retest. I'd look for that later this summer. But maybe Circle trying to do something. Still early. All right. Let's not whiff here. Give me. Give me something. Give me a dot. Come on. It's kind of annoying. Even that second one. Yeah. 30-second time frame is like that. Boy, that's tough. Here you go. That is a tough one, guys. I mean, I took a shot way too tight. I want the perfect trade for you guys. You go fudging stuff, then that encourages you to fudge. All right, look at a little counter trend rally. Come on. Come on up. Print it and go. It's moving really fast today too. So think of it this way. If you were trying to sell that down, we were just 760 and then you're bounced 30 points. Those are huge numbers. Oh, 5 second. Here you go. Damn it. 98. I'm going to keep it on the 5 second. T1 at 98. I'm going to keep that screen on. Hold on. Another return trade. Let's see. I'm going to get one more dot, guys, no matter what. I'll hang in here. It's 255. I'm trying to do this if we get clean setups towards the end of every stream. Make it more of what we do. And then, let me get through this another week or two and then open up some sessions where it's just like I'm just going to be here clicking. You guys follow along, and you'll see why I'm making moves. But yeah, I'm just letting that fall. 98. Again, I'm not interested in the bullish patterns. Even though that one that bounced 100, I'm just still not. I'm not playing it. 30-second. There's a little green line dot at 73. And again, I want overbought and run it back down. 3 o'clock yet, almost. Also, I don't have anything on the 5 minute, like I said before. Usually want to get something overbought on a 5 minute time frame because you can then hone in on stuff like this. Like there's arrow dot here or here. This was this morning. Those kind of scenarios. 85. Come on. I'm going to stay on the 5 second. There you go. Let me do one more, guys. I'm waiting for 98. Just somebody wake me up when we get to 98 or back to 802. Someone wanted to look at Oracle really quick. And another one where we're oversold for sure on the weekly. We've been looking at those signals. We had 140. Someone was asking levels on that. I think 140 is a good place to be looking. The weekly is yet to put in a dot, but we're really close. And that's against the long-term uptrend like that. All of these are really close, guys. They're oversold. They need to trigger. Oracle's up 50 cents today, but I think it's more like 140 and simply wait for the dot. Come on, back up. Back up, dot me, and then we dump. And that's it. I said NQ finishing 200 points down. Yeah. Yeah, we're looking for NQ to roll back over. We're looking at, that's exactly what I said. You know, from like the 840, 800 level back to 600, 650. Sure. What's down there? It was a 30-second time frame. Where was it? Oh yeah, it's this stuff back here. It's this supported like the 625 area. Yeah, I'm still looking for that. It's now 3 o'clock. We don't have a 5 minute trigger to do that just yet. But yeah, we need to go back and retest those levels. I mean, 807. That last test was, what do we get? No, 840. Hold on. What was up there? It was our pattern. Yeah, 840 there. That was the last spot, really. I mean, I was looking for, had we printed a T2 that and we just fell shy, that would have been it. But yeah, the read is 200 lower off of those highs, like 650. Give me the next jump on point. That's the way I'm thinking about it. And this has been all over the place. Listen, we were under 24.4 just a couple hours ago. First Solar is harmonized. That's what Wayne's saying. Look, the solar is just building and building and building. I did see that that came off. First Solar was that, guys. Back to back weekly patterns at 285. I'm thinking 190 or lower, and we're just coming out now. So First Solar 1-2 reaction, but the dot won't happen till next week. Back up. There you go. There you go. Back up. Excellent. All right, give me. We could actually go run to 840 again. That's the 1618. It's one of those looping type twos. How do you know, guys? How do you, I mean, that's again, I want to point out what is the trigger of that because the last dot took you all the way down, but the confirmation wasn't till there. That's why we say wait for the dot. All right, 5 second 820 area. Diamond dot. I'm down on that. Come on. 2050. Come on. Let's see if we get one more test. Come on. 2050. Ugh. No more riffing. I'm just gonna stay on this chart. I look. That's the one thing that I do. If I'm doing it with you guys here, I'll go on another chart and I'll miss that 20, literally a 20-second window of opportunity. Hold on. That was it. Let's do one more. Look at Doge. Why would we look at Doge? I do not want to look at Doge. Guys, I do not I do not want any of that. No offense. Hubs, what's up? Daniel, I know you wanted to look at Hubs earlier. I don't want to miss this shit, which I just missed there at 20. I'll give it a second. I know you wanted Hubs earlier. Let me do it this way. Go back to 20 people. HubSpot weekly from 800 to 280. Not yet, man. Not yet. I really don't have anything on HubSpot. It looks like this. I mean, yeah, it was a great bat pattern, but not ready. And Hims was a total failure. That was your other one. That was Hims. Hims is putting in a finally putting in a weekly dot, but ever since that broke 26, we've not. It never gave us the confirmation. Yeah, it just never got above the 50 level on amplified. Looks like this. So maybe that's overdone diamond today, but I'm not really playing with that until like this was what we were talking about the whole time. We were on a downtrend and we could never break into the 50 area. Like continue, and it collapsed. Nothing. What is VVV? Is that volatility? VVVV like that. I'm not really a play of volatility. Oh, Valvoline. I thought you were. Oh, that was VIX. Daily, weekly. I like. That's actually a nice chart. Type 2, but back at 31, now 37. Valvoline. I like that though. I mean, again, that's not bad, as they say. I'm not chasing it, but I'll have it on the radar. 31. Come on, guys. 820 was a whiff. I'm pretty much going to hit anything, any dot that materializes. Because I'm looking at this stuff going left here. Come back, retest that. 306. Yeah, no, I don't. We have not been constructive on hymns the whole time. We were waiting on that. Look, stuff we line stuff up and it doesn't. If it doesn't come to us or doesn't unfold in an ideal fashion, you hit a zone and you keep going lower. There's no action. That's all. No action. That's cool. Thanks, Ron. I appreciate that. If this guys, if this stuff is connecting with you, please let me know. I'm looking for feedback. I'm just not one to sit on there all day and talk without signals generating. The last one was 20, and I was talking about something else. So to do this right, I just need to have the chart up, let the signals come to us, not get off topic, not get off the subject of like, all right, here's a type 2, come on back to 20, and give me a dot up here at 20. We're trying to expose the segments. Pattern T1, arrow dot diamond, take it to task. Arrow dot diamond, and we're not at T2, but 808-ish. I'm really tempted to just take a shot for you guys and probably fails. And I'm probably late here. Let me like this. There you go. Should I put on some music? I always feel like I've got to talk. Just wait for that setup. So the two spots, I'll look at 808 or maybe as far as 820. Come on. And we're going to get another dot. There's the check back. Look at that. Green, there's a green dot. Bullish dot. Send it back up. So I'm thinking more like 820-ish. Why? Because the last dot's there. Watching HSI. All right, that's better. Maybe it's 808. I really am tempted here. Hold on. Come on. Took it at 810. 975. Bang, 100, 120. I'm ready to hit flatten. Flatten it. Go again. Take a shot. You get 100, 150. Again, scalp it and we'll go again. Because if it's going to collapse, you're going to go down like 5 or 7 and it's really in the spot. It's going to go down like 15 pretty quick. I'm going to try one more time here. That was 1. And that's what I'm doing. I'm either going to move automatically the stop loss to break even or just hit the flatten button. You're scalping here, people. You're just in there for that quick move. I think we get 20 up here. That was worth the shot, though, against that. Against that. No, you're going to 20. Go to 20, and it'll be up here. One more time. What do you do when you have a green arrow and a red arrow? Is a great question here. Okay, I want the price level too. You're expecting immediate reaction no matter what. And if you're not getting that, or like HSI here, not breaking under the 50 on that short-term time, you're just waiting. Here comes 20. Hold on. I got to wait for my level and I got to wait for my trigger. Push it higher. Come on. And even with, if we can get that retest there, again, what's the obvious stuff that needs to get clipped or retested? Some of this prior pattern looking left. I think 808's the number, guys, because the arrow and the dot and that red line every time is like 75, 808, 75. I'm going to take another shot at 808.75. It's not the traditional type 2, so yeah, I'm fudging it, but I'm thinking that's where a reaction can fall out. It's kind of wheeling its way down already. So breaking rules, not if I have, look, yeah, I want the T2, but I've got an arrow diamond dot looking left. We can't get through, what's that, 809 to be exact. So I'm forcing it, but it's for you guys. And all I need is, look, 809-ish to get back to like 90 from there, 20. There you go. There's my move. All right. No, I'm still here. Still here. I might have to fudge it. I might have to just take some shots off the dots. I'm waiting for the absolute perfect bearish type 2 with the dot, and that was 20. You didn't get there. What time? At 3:15. Anybody? What's going on, Middle East? How you doing? What's the update over there? I think we'd all love to hear. Show you the Discord. Daniel, you should be in the Discord, man. I just checked out your membership this morning. If you're not in the membership, you're a gold member, you have the software, you got to DM me and get into the gold membership, okay? It's in there. Mo is saying he didn't realize patterns would print on the 5-second. They do. The only way we can catch them is with the software. Optimize algos. It's, you want to learn real quick, put up the 5-second, follow that for a few days. But I wouldn't say all day. Go an hour a day or 2 hours. Your brain is going to fry. Believe me, I know. And that was the 808, and still okay. I want the perfect setup for you guys to sell it, because that's what I said. Yeah, I'm still looking for this thing to sell off in the afternoon. We'll buy the close. Where are we? Let's just take a gander. 785. The low was 350. And we got lots of resistance up here at the last was 820-ish. I don't have a hell of a lot on the 5-minute, which is kind of a bummer. Typically, we get like a last hour dot overbought, oversold trigger that then is like a counter move. We're not seeing that today. But we are, I would say we are breaking down. It's kind of like a muted dead cat bounce, frankly. Your hour looks like this. Still making new lows. I would say the hourly needs to retest that 637 either today or tomorrow. All right, let me break some rules here, because I can't just like sit here and not execute on this off you. There it is. You guys know I'm trying to put on a great show, stellar show, perfect show, a great show, the best show, perfect. I'm always looking for that perfect entry. That last perfect entry was saying, all right, no type 2 on the bearish, take a shot, Y, arrow dot diamond, working for a reaction. This sucker's breaking. I can see it already. 57. Hold in here. I don't want to fry your brain with the 1-second time frame. I want to save that for a different whatever. But when I get to this point, like I have real high confidence this thing's rolling over. I think 650 area. I will pull up the 1-second, but I'm going to save that for another time. I'm really just trying to keep it clean on the 5-second time frame, because I think that's even fast enough. From too fast. And there's the 30-second. It's all right. Listen, I'm still kind of getting comfortable with doing the live stream and doing everything you need to do this type of scalping. But look, half the battle is showing you guys maybe the advanced interpretation, how to be looking at the levels. We can all see the patterns. Where's the execution for the trade entry? The classic was this. We were looking at that 30, 40 minutes, 45 minutes ago. But massive move, ran into the diamond, you're done. Send it back down. There's a counter signal on HSI. I like these because that's a dud reaction. Give me a dot. Check it, dot me, and let's send it back down because there's another type. The dot is in at 60. There you go. There's the retest of it. Hold on. Now type 1. Come on, hit me a T1 dollar sign and then give me the return. $7.75, kids. Meh. All right, there's 75. Let's go. If I'm going to play the return, just give me the next dot. Now we're in that zone. Oh, come on. I know if I take that without confirmation, it's going to... I just don't. I want the perfect setup. Hold on. Well, kids, that's failing at 75. Yeah, I'm looking for the dot trigger, guys. I want to show it. That's what I'm here to do. Could have taken a shot against that, but there's no confirmation there. I want the dot. I'm trying to show you the check back at the T1 level. What's a nightingale bottom on Bitcoin? If you know it's sub 50, why wait? I mean, why DCA? Why not wait? A couple more, guys. I'm waiting out for a dot. I've been inclined to click the trigger, but then you guys, I don't want to. I want to show you both of the pattern signal with the dot because the dot trigger is the signal for the entry. Yeah, you could take shots like T1 to 75 back down worked. But that's it. I want to show this dot, and I'm waiting on that. Last one we missed was 807. It's fine. I also have this kind of thing where I feel like I got to show you guys something all the time, even if I'm fudging the entry. And that's the last thing you want to do because you start fudging entries, you're going to have immediate drawdown, be in the wrong spot, and it moves 20 points against you. I don't know, but let me just kind of throw it out to everybody, especially latecomers. Tomorrow we're doing that session, so hit me up over on the Discord. Check the chat for the link. Send me your email. please. And if you're not set up with TradingView, please send your username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. And where did that go? Hold on. We might get one more here. I'm just kind of chilling out, waiting for that perfect setup. But over here, guys, send your TradingView username to hpc@sr-analyst.com and just get the subscription for futures. The pattern and HSI and everything, that's an add-on. So you get the basic subscription with TradingView first, and then get our product for free to start. Work with it for 2 weeks. Then subscribe. I don't know. How many of you guys are trading NQ? How many of you are trading ES? And are you guys seeing anything you haven't seen before? Trying to open up kind of larger possibilities here. Well, to prove my point, damn it, I'm ready to go to a 1 second chart and trigger off of a 1 second time frame. Do not do this at home. But the whole thing is the same. Look, there was. All right, because I'm frustrated with the 5 second chart, I'll go on the 1 second. There you go. You bastard. There's the breakdown. Again, I'm looking for 650, so I'm looking for places to jump on and get the bigger breakdown move. I'm not getting on a 5 second. $30 oversold. Yeah, it's 30 seconds begging for 714 minimum on that 30-second time frame. Back on this zone. The 1-2 is over. Now come back, retest this. If not this. So this is the other reason why I'm saying 640, 650. We do have a pattern. This is ugly AF, but we still haven't hit target 1, target 2 area. And I think that is still something needs to get hit as well. Bullish pattern there, 14 retest, 700, maybe 663. All right, there's a 5 second pattern at 66. Dot me, and I'll hit this sucker for immediate back down. 675. 67.50. Come on. Hold on. I'm going to have to. I see that missed by about 4 ticks. Hold on. Now we got a dot. I'm just have to hit this. There you go. Now we're in the zone. 66.75. Here we go. I'm glad I moved that. I'm glad I moved that. It really was not the right spot. Now, all right, good. Here we go. We'll get it. Now that it's oh, it's not a 2. Try one more time. I was almost going to get creamed there, but I saw that HSI went right back up. Here we go. A little crazy overspill. Diamond, dot me. I'll take another shot here. 1, 2. There's the dot. It's right around 78. Frig it. 74, 78. Already don't like it. I knew it. Scalp it. I'm taking it off, guys. Bad one. That was a bad one. One more time. I lost 150 there. Gave back the first one. Let's try again. One more time. It was the wrong spot. There you go. Come on. No. Nope. Should not do that. Glad I scalped that out for the loss, but I know I'm forcing it for you guys. I want to put on a trade here, and that was a jump. Nope. I don't need to make two mistakes in a row. Not a bad idea up here, but it blew through. HSI was not right. Let's try one more time. Let's see what happens here. $330. I had no intention to stay this long. Try one more. Yeah, well, listen, I had two that were scalps that were good for 250, 300. That one lost, I think, 170. And I'm forcing it. I know I'm forcing it. Not yet. Hold on one second, guys. I got to get something to drink. I will hold on. If you guys want me to hold on here, I'm willing to take it another 20 minutes. If we get, I want to sell it. I want to sell it down into the close. I just have not. We've been going here for over an hour looking for the last trigger. Last one was up there at 840. Hold on. I'll be right back. I got to get something to drink. All right, guys, we got a little pattern here. I'm going to see if we can get a dot. There's a T2. Let's see if we get some confirmation. I had to get something to eat. I'll do more of this here. Yeah, we're pretty much range bound. 3:45. 5 minutes left. I'm pretty much out of gas, though. I'm going to watch this. If I get a dot, I'll hit it, but I'm pretty much out of gas. I didn't eat any lunch. No, I'm just trying to do that. I haven't had a pattern with the dot since 8:07. Okay. Not going to get it either. I'm not going to get it either because it doesn't even want to go overbought. That's how weak we are. We don't even want to get to the, can't even get overbought. I'm still saying 700. I'm still looking for 700, 715 in the next 10 minutes. Oh, hell, I'll try it here. It's that dot, 58, to play it down to 30. Oh, guys, I'm a little slow right now. Come on, just pick me up. Let's go. No, I'm late on that one. Guys, I'm going to come back around. I know my limits. I'm a little frustrated by that. Couldn't even pick me up at 58. And that should take us down. Uh, but I'm drained. And here comes 58. There's 58. Retesting it now. But I'm drained. And that probably wasn't even right. There's your red line. That was 58. And I'm forcing it. I'll tell you right now, I'm forcing it. We'll come back on Thursday, guys. I'm out of juice. MOC. What's MOC, man? Moody's? I don't know what MOC is. Yeah, I know I'm Mosaic. I don't have anything there. I mean, I'll look at that later. You mean MOS? There's a dot. There's a check back. We tried 58. I'm fried. I'm not going to take it. 58 would have worked. There you go. Down to 30. Bye-bye. But I'm just fried, guys. I'm going to come back on Thursday. Watch that go. Yeah, let's do more of this on Thursday. A better juice. I'll do it earlier in the morning or earlier in the day. Just had a busy day. I don't know. I hope that's been helpful, guys. Listen, get with me for tomorrow. I've got some work to do on that. You have any questions, get with the software. But until then, if you can't join us tomorrow, catch us Thursday. Say hi, say hello to 700 here in about 5 minutes. But I'm going to wrap it up. Be out. I'm done. All right. Thanks, guys. You have a great one. As always, we'll go get them. We'll be doing a lot more of this. Hope it's been of material use for you, and I'll catch you next time. Look at that. There goes 58 to 28, you bastard. Next time. All right. Thanks, everybody.